Hi there, welcome to week 5 of class. Everybody's doing great, so keep up the good work. This week we're talking about Web 2.0. This is probably one of my most favorite topics to talk about when it comes to integrating technology in the classroom. The whole concept here of Web 2.0 is the living web. It's the idea of how can we utilize the internet for more than just these static information, pages, downloads. How can we integrate videos and podcasts and screencasts and things along that nature. So it's a big part of this week. The digital lecture does bring on some good websites. Some I go back and forth on. Things like I do love TechSmith. I think they make a great product, and Camtasia is fantastic, but it's $400 a classroom. So that gets a little expensive. But I know some of you I've heard or seen in your posts that you have smartboards, and you have things like the smart recorder that's built into notebook that can be used and it does the exact same thing Camtasia does, just not with all the bells and whistles, but for the most case you don't need those. So keep it out there. There's a million options for every one option that's out there. SurveyMonkey, great website that's out there, but you know what, if you're a Google school, use Google Forms for surveys. So it's a plus minus to all of them. You have to play out those features, look at them, see which one works best for you. And get and wrap your head around what is best for the classroom. And sometimes, multiple tools that do the same thing have different places in your classroom. One other big topic that's brought up this week is this whole idea of the flipped classroom. That's a huge undertaking. It's a financial undertaking with the school to say you're going to go true flip teaching. I've had the luxury of meeting people like Dan that was one of the people who really first started pushing for flipped classroom and things of that nature. And it's great if you have the internet resources for the kids at home and the devices and things like that. But I do a lot of presentations on what I call modified flip teaching. It's the idea that we integrate kind of both concepts, the idea of flip teaching with traditional teaching. It's the idea if we're in a math class where we're teaching multi-step equations, it's the idea that maybe we're not recording a whole lesson, but we're recording a example, or an example that a student can look at again, during class, or can look at again when they're at home to help them out. And I can go on and on about that concept. But that's something to look at, is the idea of recording parts of your lessons, maybe 4 or 5 minutes of examples, things like that for playback. It really does help the students, helps you teach a little bit more to be able to do small group instruction and not be interrupted by the other kids. So that's something to keep in mind. So, kind of take that idea of flip teaching and look at how you can modify it for your classroom if your students don't have the devices and the internet access and stuff like that at home. So keep up the good work. I know Project 2 is due this week. So if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks. Bye.